What's going on, everybody? It's the Shaw and Steele Show. Today is January 12th, and we got a whole lot to talk about. So, Steel Chambers, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I feel like a gossiping high school girl because it's less football and now it's more just transfer portal, who's going where, who's ditching Jeremy from seventh period to go hang out with Phil. It's so much stuff to keep up with.
And it's only going to get worse. Once that offseason hits, it's only going to get worse. But Steel Chambers, let's start with these college football playoff games. How does that sound, bro?
Sounds fantastic to me.
Which game you want to start with?
Let's go with the best one.
Okay, yeah, let's go with the best one for sure. Ole Miss, Miami. Ole Miss, valiant effort, but came up just short. Carson Beck, legacy game, legacy moment. What stood out to you from that one?
What stood out to me is the fact that Miami was able to win playing very poor football. Between the penalties and I think the 4 dropped interceptions they had. Yeah. And then also a little bit of the play calling. They got away from their game plan in the second half. They didn't look like the team that we saw go up against Ohio State, but yet they somehow pulled out a win. Their defense, they got it going a little bit to start, and then they started to tamper off whenever Chambliss got going. But I was impressed with their offense down the stretch because they were put in a position where Carson Beck, he had to go out and win the game. He put together a beautiful ending drive, and he pulled off one of the best bowl games I've seen in quite a while. I mean,
you just brought up a lot of good points. First off, Carson Beck. I said that if it came down on Carson Beck's shoulders, I don't know if I could trust him. And what do you know? It came down to his shoulders, and he goes, those 2 third down throws he made to keep the drive going and then scrambling to get it in. I mean, that was one of the best drives of all time, probably. Then you bring up another good point that I want to talk about, the play calling. You are absolutely right. I feel like they were getting horny for explosives. They were hunting explosives. They got away from their game plan. The first half, they did the wildcat with Tony. It got shut down. The second half, they tried to flea flicker. And then on top of that, Carson Beck, they had him he took a lot of shots in that game down the field, which I didn't really like. And then speaking about play calling, did you see Nick Saban and Cristobal? You saw that thing I sent you, right?
You saw the little back and forth, the way he ended that first half.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. So Nick Saban, for you guys listen, Nick Saban gets on there and was like, and it's him and Cristobal, and he's like, well, coach, what was going on at the end of the half? You gave them 3 points at the end. And then Cristobal's like, well, actually, I got notes from your meetings saying if there's a minute or more to go for a minute or less. And it was just a funny and back and forth. But I'm with you, Steele. Miami, they played like shit for most of that game, in my opinion. Or out, not total shit, but definitely out of what they've been looking like the last couple of weeks. But they still found a way to pull it off. And I think that's really going to help them in the national championship.
I guess, but if they come out and they play anything like that, they're going to get annihilated.
No, they'll get annihilated if they play like that.
Because this Indiana team they're about to play, they have far less mistakes or whatever you call them. And you have to capitalize on the very few you're going to get. And they got 4. I mean, Chambliss threw them the ball 4 times, and they dropped all 4 interceptions.
Easy catches, too. Easy picks they dropped.
Easy picks. I mean, one of them, it was 3 guys all in a circle, like all singing Kumbaya with the ball in the middle, and no one comes up with it.
Nobody came up with it.
Crazy. And then on the offense, I mean, they had a plan. You run on first and second down. You get ahead of the sticks. You get to third and manageable, and then they don't know if you're running or passing. But then they got all cute. They started throwing some bombs to start off drives. They get into third and long, and it's just much easier for a defense to defend that. So they've got to clean up the mistakes. They got to clean up the penalties and the play calling. And even with all that, it's still going to be an uphill battle for them.
Oh, no, it's still going to be an uphill battle. But I would always say during the regular season, the best wins are ones where you play like absolute dog shit and you still find a way to pull it out because they're going to be getting blasted. First of all, the coaches got to look at themselves because some of the decision-making to play calling was not good, and they'll fix that. But poor play and poor execution, they're going to be getting blasted. They're going to be lighting the fire under their ass, and they're going to be eager to fix those mistakes for the next game. So that's why I think it's going to help them. And I agree. I think moving forward in this national championship game, get Fletcher going early and often. Let Carson Beck handle the ball. Hey, I wanted to ask you, Ruben Bain and Massador. They were kind of non-existent.
Non-factors.
What did you think about that one?
That was just based on Ole Miss play calling. They were getting the ball out fast.
That's what I was going to ask you is, the lack of Bain and Massador, was that poor play or was that just kind of the scheme Ole Miss was running?
Well, I mean, they got a little bit of pressure on them early. They still never got a sack, but you kind of saw they were stalling a little bit with 3 and outs. And if you can't get that first or second down, you can't play fast like Ole Miss wanted to. And then once they were able to play fast a little bit, you saw the big guys get a little tired. They were just dinking and dunking on the outside, taking one-on-one shots if it was man-to-man. And it's hard as a defender to get to the quarterback in that spot. Plus, they were changing the launch angles. So it was a solid game plan Ole Miss had. It just took a little while to kind of get to it.
What do you think about Ole Miss overall from that game?
Oh, my gosh. Their defense, I mean, they were just getting bullied.
The tackling was horrendous.
That third down by Tony, amazing play by him. Egregious. If you, like, I would be going out there and doing tackle drills like in January.
And that's Perkins, too. Perkins was the guy who initially hit him.
Perkins is probably their best defender, in my opinion.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but, I mean, you saw it based on the time of possession. Miami had the ball for, God, like 38, 40 minutes. And, like, Ole Miss, they barely got on the field.
I think it was, like, the most one-sided time of possession ever, to be honest with you. Trinidad Chambliss, once he gets rolling, dude, once he gets in a rhythm, he is hard to stop. He started getting in a rhythm there in that second half. I thought it was going to be cooked for Miami.
Yeah, he hits a flow. It was one of those things where whoever had the ball last was going to win. Mm-hmm. How much time he had? Like 18 seconds in, and he almost pulled it off. He got a decent shot.
Everybody was freaking out about the defense. They're like, "This is defensive pass interference."
No, it was both ways.
I know it's both ways. I mean, but they were like freaking out about his Hail Mary. But shout out to Pete Golden. I mean, I love Pete Golden from what he's done so far because he comes out at the end of the game. They ask him about it. He's like, could they have called it? Maybe, but that's not why we lost the game. So, I respect him. But Ole Miss, Miami's moving on to the national championship. But Ole Miss, it looked like everything was going to be, up and up for next year. But Trinidad Chambliss has 6 years getting denied. He's taking it to court. His lawyers are taking it to court. What do you think about that situation?
Well, should we get into it now?
Yeah, let's get into it right now.
He's going to win that. He's going to win that.
Oh, he's 100% going to win that.
Yeah, because now Lane Kiffin's getting involved, which I honestly think is kind of a sweet move by him. Because
I don't know about that. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he's getting involved. He got like some high up lawyer to basically look at the case, and they're going to try to take it to Mississippi because like you love football down there, so they're definitely going to side with him. And what was weird was like he provided like extenuous reports, like almost 91 or so pages of back in 2022, whenever he was at Ferris State, like he had medical issues. It was some kind of respiratory thing he had going on. And they basically denied that. They said like, we need like up-to-date documents like from back then. And they couldn't provide that. So now they're going to take it to court because he signed a $5 million or so deal with Ole Miss. That was
to come
all
back.
All dependent on if he was going to get that year of eligibility. So they're screwing him out of that $5 million. They're screwing up his draft stock because he needs another year to kind of develop and whatnot. But I think with what we saw with Diego Pavia and what he was able to accomplish getting that extra year, I think if they pour the resources in and get him the oversight with lawyers that he's going to get, I think he's going to be granted that extra year pretty easily.
No, I'm with you, Steele. And it would be it'd be the biggest BS if not. It's the 6th year. Do you know how many, there's a ton of 6th, 7th, and 8th year guys right now. And then we look at Pavia. I don't understand. So a JUCO kid can go play, 2 or 3 years, and that doesn't go on their clock. That doesn't count against their, eligibility clock, right? But, what's the difference between, no disrespect to Ferris State, but anything below, like, each division should have their own clock, maybe. I don't know if that's necessarily the right move. Not, maybe all three. Like, let's say you're at a D2 for 3 years. I'm not saying you should get 3 years of extra eligibility, but you definitely, if JUCO is getting the extra eligibility, then a kid from Ferris State should definitely get at least one more year of eligibility too.
Yeah, and the reasoning makes sense. Like he said, like it's a respiratory issue, and that was way close to the time of COVID. Whenever we both had COVID, we know how that can mess you up like internally for a long period of time.
He missed like the full season.
Yeah, and you've also got guys nowadays who are getting an extra year because they're claiming like mental health. Like I know a guy that claimed mental health from 2 years ago, and he got a 7th year. So if you're able to get a 7th year because you're claiming that you're not in a mentally right space, and this guy who's obviously not trying to cheat the system, he's trying to get an extra year, develop a little more, get a little bit of money. And he also, like, he had a legit issue that took him off the field. So it makes no sense that they're trying to take that year away from him.
It should be a clear-cut medical redshirt. Same as if a kid went and broke his leg and missed a year. He had a medical issue. He couldn't perform. He couldn't practice. He should be granted that year. And I agree with you, Steele. I think he is going to get granted that year.
I think he will. I mean, they're going to claim that NCAA is a monopoly, which they are. I mean, they do virtually nothing. I had this conversation with Coach Alford back at Ohio State. Like, he absolutely despises the NCAA. They just make rules, collect money, and do nothing else.
Yeah, the NCAA is a little weird. Stop. All right, so anything else from this Ole Miss Miami game?
No.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Ass whooping.
This was an absolute ass whooping. 15-0 Indiana Hoosiers. And the biggest thing that stood out to me was after the game, Curt Cignetti. They get asked what he's looking forward to. And Curt Cignetti, the guy who's straight-faced all the time on to the next professional, he said, I'm not even thinking about next game right now. I want to crack open a beer.
And he deserves it.
He does. But I was shocked to hear him say that. I thought it was hilarious. But
it's just like he's one of those coaches where they were winning by, 40 points? Yeah. And you see him on the sideline. He's still stressed as ever, as if they're down 20.
Ripping
so
guys.
Like he needs a little bit of time off because a lot of coaches, they'll tamper off a little bit if they've got a big enough lead. But he's in the thick of it. He still had all of his starters out there. Like, he did not give a shit.
No, he does not mess around.
Yeah, dude.
He does not mess around. Oregon, dude, they rolled over. Dante Moore, the Oregon Ducks, they rolled over. They look like shit. Now, I know this was a beatdown, but Oregon could have made that game. They could have came out, played way better, and made that game a lot closer than what it was.
I mean, like we talked about it before, turnovers was going to be big in this game. And coming out the gate, they had two massive ones. A pick six within the first 10 seconds of the game. And then I don't even know. They look like the Bad News Bears out there with that freaking RPO fumble.
Where they hit the running back and stuff.
Yeah, you give Indiana the ball on the 5-yard line. They punch it in 20 seconds later. Next thing you know, you're down 14 in an instant.
Yeah. And then block punt in the second half. I mean, that's 21 points right there.
Yeah, and like they pulled up the stats in the middle of the game. As far as yards, like passing, rushing, they were equal. But it was the 3 turnovers between those two and then the strip sack that kind of just tilted over to Indiana's side because they were getting the ball in great field position. Oregon, they were struggling dealing with that defense, even though they were picking up some yards, and they just got boat raced. And it sucks. That's the second year that's happened to Oregon. Yeah. And like, all respect to Dan Lanning. He has great teams. He only loses the teams that basically go to the national championship or win it. But you can't be losing in this kind of fashion 2 years in a row.
Okay, Steele, you just brought up a good point because I was going to bring this up. A lot of people are saying Coach Lanning, good coach, but might be a fraud in terms of being a great coach. And I love Coach Lanning. I very much disagree with that. But Steele, I am with you. They didn't just get whooped. They didn't just get, belt to ass, as the kids like to say these days. They got embarrassed. And it looked like they kind of rolled over and quit. They look clueless. It looked like they rolled over and quit against Ohio State last year, and they look clueless and looked like they rolled over and quit this year against Indiana. I mean, and I'm telling you, Steele, I still go back to this, bro. I really like Coach Lanning. I think he's a phenomenal coach. But I just question the culture over there for the Oregon Ducks. There's something, and this is kind of what I'm going to wrap this all around, because when I look at Indiana, there's, they show the 5 stars as like Oregon's got their blue chip or whatever, 4 or 5 stars. This meant like 40, Ohio State 40. Now they show, and then like Indiana's a couple. And I've always believed this, and I know you're kind of with me, or maybe you're not, that it doesn't matter how many 4 stars, how many 5 stars you get. If the system is not right and the culture is not right, it doesn't matter. That's why I'm not like jumping on the ship about SC next year, even though I am with their number 1 recruiting class, because not necessarily Lincoln Riley, but above Lincoln Riley, I disagree with a lot of stuff they do. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter how many 4 stars, 5 stars you got. If you can get good players and good people, then you got a shot. And I don't know what kind of guys Oregon has, but I have a sneaky feeling, and kind of from what I've seen, and I do know some of them. Some of them are really good, but some of them are very questionable people that plays a part.
It definitely could. And especially in the NIL world we're seeing today, money is definitely playing a big part. That might be a big driving factor for a lot of these players. Where JMU, oh my God.
No, you're good.
The new and improved JMU, Indiana, since
Yeah.
he's bringing 50 guys from that team over, you just feel kind of different kind of passion out of those guys. And a lot of it's because you got like 4 or 5 fifth-year players that have been in Signetti's system for a long time. They understand the scheme, they understand the concept, and they trust the guy that's come up with all that.
Right.
So there's part of it where it's just the coaching, like they're on their P's and Q's every single play. And then there's just like a deep love and passion for their coach. And I'm not saying like the Oregon guys don't love Dan Lanning. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just a different kind of trust that they have because Signetti came in, just took this team from scratch, brought some guys over from JMU, and just built something almost out of nothing.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a different sense of pride that you get out of doing that.
No, and we got to remember, Dan Lanning, on the grand scheme of things, he's still just getting going, and he does all of his losses are like to national contenders, pretty much. And
he's a young coach.
Yeah, he's a young coach. I mean, he's going to be just fine. He's still figuring it out. And they talked about how they thought the people inside the walls of Oregon thought that 2027. Did you hear him say that during the game, Steele?
No.
They thought that they showed a clip where they thought that they're kind of their year to get what they want, in Natty's, that 2027 window. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Steele Chambers, let me ask you, are you more impressed with Fernando Mendoza? Or are you more impressed with the run game in terms of Black and Hemby? Because Black and Hemby really, really, I mean, Mendoza is phenomenal. He was 5 touchdowns, whatever it is, crazy run. But Hemby and Black, they are driving the ship, in my opinion.
They are, but you can't deny that the fact that Mendoza's thrown 5 incompletions and 8 touchdowns in 2 playoff games.
It's ridiculous, dude. That guy, and he is putting the ball on the money. That guy's
dude, him and Surratt, the connection they have with the back shoulders and then just perfect throws in man coverage that you can't defend. It's like, if I'm a defender, I'm getting pissed off. Like, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, a lot of them, that's great coverage. Hey, Surratt's going to be a real deal player in the NFL too, I think. I think he's a legit wide receiver. Yeah,
dude. Between him and Becker and Cooper, I mean, like, first of all, Becker is ridiculous with these jump balls.
Oh, he is ridiculous. And that was on Brandon Finney.
I know, like their number one guy. And anytime I see a ball thrown up to him for 30-plus yards, it's 99% chance that he's going to catch it.
Yeah, he goes and grabs it. I mean, that Indiana team is super fun to watch. There's a couple things pissing me off, though, about the college football fans in general. I got a couple things for you.
I've got one big thing.
Bring it up. You look like you're ready to get that off your chest.
Oregon. All that complaining they did, yes, you guys got their ass beat.
Yeah.
All that complaining, though, and yet everything I heard from this game, because it was Chick-fil-A Bowl right in my backyard, I had a bunch of friends going, and they said they've never seen a more lopsided game as far as Indiana fans versus Oregon fans. Like, I'm talking like 90, 95%.
I think you can see it on the TV, bro. You can see it on the TV. I was surprised by that. You know why I was surprised, Steele?
Why?
Because do you remember when we played them at Ohio State? They had a lot of fans.
It was 50-50.
That whole section in the back right was completely green. Like, they showed up for that one. I was shocked they didn't show up. That was a loud-ass home game for Indiana.
I was told that on that pick 6, it was the loudest that Mercedes-Benz has ever been. And this is coming from guys who went to our game, Ohio State versus Georgia, who've gone to Falcons game, who have been to that stadium like a dozen plus times. They said it wasn't even close. The loudest that place has ever been.
Yeah, that's
all Indiana fans.
I was shocked by that. And I remember the week leading up to it, people were like, it's going to be a home. Well, I was hearing Pat say it was going to be a McAfee's. It's going to be a home game for Indiana. I was like, I don't know. When we played Oregon at noon in Ohio, they showed up in numbers. I'm like, they're definitely going to show up for this one. And then I saw the crowd, and I was very, very surprised by that as well, Steele. I was very, very surprised. But what's been pissing me off is that everybody is trying to discredit – well, not everybody, but I'm seeing a lot of people trying to discredit Indiana because of their average age on their roster. which is stupid. Like that is just drives me crazy. And then the second thing that's making me mad is that have you seen they're trying to say that Indiana's cheating? Have you seen that?
Isn't it Michigan that's trying to say that?
I don't know if it's
Michigan. I heard I don't know if it's like satire or something, but I've been hearing stuff about Michigan coming out and saying that Indiana's stealing film, stealing signs and everything, which
they're saying they're hacking. I'm searching it right now. They're saying they're hacking like what is XO's Thundercloud, like they're hacking team's Thundercloud. Did you hear Indiana has cheated this way?
I've heard it, but specifically from Michigan fans, which I truly don't think like that's there's no way they're doing that without like making that a joke.
Here we go. Indiana has been hacking into software to watch practice film of other teams, but they have infiltrated most cloud-based systems which teams keep their game plans on. This includes opening scripts. I don't know any – first off, I don't know any – Lincoln Riley doesn't put his opening 15-play script on a computer. It's written down like no – I don't know where this – it's getting a little crazy. It's a wild theory. I'm not buying it. Sig's running a tight professional show over there, and don't get mad that the Hoosiers are 15-0 and beating people's asses. Those are the two things I got a problem with right now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, we live in the world where it could be true. Like there's a 1% to 2% chance it is true because Indiana's like they're undefeated right now. You can't beat them. And it's Indiana.
Yeah.
It's a hard work. I think it's just kind of me in denial over the fact that Indiana is easily the best team in the country, and it makes no sense to me because all the times we've played them, beat them by 40, don't even think about it. But I definitely don't think that they're stealing anything. Maybe it's happening, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, and if it is, I'll say it again, every team's doing some sort of.
If it is, man, we might need to go back to the freaking Stone era and just start doing everything on pen and paper because you can't be having two teams win a national championship and both of them are getting caught with stealing shit, which Indiana definitely haven't. They definitely haven't. But if they did, that's fucked.
They definitely have it. Okay, Steele, now we're obviously going to preview the game, but let's do that a little bit later in the week. But just real quick, close game. Or not a close game between Indiana and Miami.
Oh my gosh!
Great story. Mendoza back to his hometown. Miami back home.
His dad and Cristobal played together.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Mendoza's dad played.
Yeah, it was in high school, I think.
I didn't know that. That's so
Actually,
crazy.
I mean, they pulled up a picture. It was Mr. Mendoza and then Cristobal.
Dang, I did not know that. Now that's a small world.
Oh, gosh. With how Indiana's traveling right now, I don't even know if you can say it's a home game for Miami. Plus, are they going to be in the away lockers?
I guess Miami will be in the away lockers.
They're in their home stadium, and they might be in the away lockers.
They probably will be. But that locker room was dope, though. Miami, you remember that locker room?
I honestly don't.
That locker room was dope. The only thing you probably remember is us getting absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Plus, I remember getting stuck in the smoke, running out. You weren't. It was a little coagulation of like me, Jack Miller, and about 10 other guys. We ran out at a really bad time. The smoke completely engulfed us. I can't see anything. Looking around, so I have no idea if I'm running forward, sideways, backwards. It was a shit show.
This is at Hard Rock for the Natty.
This is running out to the field for the national championship, and we look like a full group of slightly autistic kids.
Oh my gosh, dude! I can picture you and Jack Miller right now trying to get through that fog, bro. That is hilarious.
It was impossible.
Impossible. Oh my! Hey, I've had that happen to me once or twice though. Some of the times they really overdo the fog.
If you run in the fog at the right angle, you're blinded.
You can't see nothing. You can't see anything. You can't see anything. All right, Steve. Let's move on. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a close game, but Indiana's gonna win, but it's gonna be a close game. It's not gonna be a blowout.
I got 30-17.
Indiana. All right. Let's move on. Steele, where should we go next? Transfer portal and close up college football, or get into the NFL stuff?
We'll do some transfer portal stuff.
Okay. 2 big quarterback commits today.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Sam Leavitt, Arizona State, signs with LSU. And the second one is Dylan Raiola heading to Oregon.
Interesting move.
Very interesting move. He should have stayed at Nebraska.
I don't know. I mean,
but I think they fired his dad. Was his dad or his uncle coaching or something?
Was he?
I swear. I think somebody related to him was coaching. I could be wrong though.
I don't know. I know his brother was committed there and then he decommitted. I don't know. Like, it's especially with Dante Moore's future kind of up in the air as far as going to the NFL or staying. It's a very interesting choice out of him. Maybe he's got some guys on the inside that know what Moore is going to do. But I mean, if he's going there with Moore staying and he's going to battle it out and most likely sit the bench and gain some experience, I respect that.
I think that is a surefire sign that they know Dante Moore is leaving. That's got to be, bro. No way Raiola would commit there knowing Dante Moore was coming back. No way.
Stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things. And we'll see how it works out. I'm not a Raiola believer. I played against Did you play against him?
No.
I played against him. I played against him one time. I thought he's okay. He's okay. If you get pressure on him, he gets a little wacky. But I wouldn't trust him to lead my team to a national championship. I'll say that. So if I was Oregon, I would have rather gone and get Hassan Longstreet, the backup quarterback for USC.
Like that, why even put that out? Why,
what do you mean?
Put that out there?
Neil, I'm telling you right now.
The backup quarterback for USC over Dylan Raiola.
100%. Watch. Just
like,
pay attention.
Dude, you piss me off to such a degree.
No, let's not get into it. Let's not argue about it. There's no need to argue about it. All I'm going to say is keep an eye on Hassan Longstreet. That's all I'm going to say.
Hassan
Longstreet.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Hassan Longstreet. Just keep an eye on him, okay?
Okay, fine.
All right, deal. Okay, deal. So Oregon, Dylan Raiola, it's an interesting mix. I think he fits that kind of culture I've been alluding to. That cool, Mr. Cool, like too cool for school type of culture. I think they got going on up there. So he'll fit in well there, but we'll see. We'll see if he can.
What are these little jabs you're trying to take?
What do you mean? What are these?
Yeah, you're taking little jabs at Oregon right now. Meanwhile, like, that's your daddy. You can't be saying such things about them.
Listen, we have underperformed against Oregon
severely
underperformed against Oregon. They've taken it to us. Dan Lanning. I've said this multiple times. I love Dan Lanning. If I can go coach under the only way I would go coach is if I could go be on Dan Lanning's staff. But with that being said, I just don't know about the quality of person they got up there.
I don't know anything about you SoCal guys.
Huh?
I can say the same thing about you SoCal guys.
First off, don't call me a SoCal guy.
Where are you based right now?
I'm a product of Maryland, a trench baby who made his way out to Ohio, who found himself in SoCal, trying to expand.
You're in SoCal. Yep.
I'm trying to expand the Trenchhood Brotherhood. I'm trying to turn SoCal into us, Steele. I'm on a mission.
Seems like it hasn't worked over there at all USC.
No, I failed in my time. But it's getting closer. It's getting closer. I'm going to keep saying that.
All right, let's turn away from that dumpster fire of a program. Let's go over to Ohio State.
Well, hold on. We got to talk about Sam Leavitt real quick.
Oh, God, we barely talked about him. Yeah, so you apparently know a lot more than me as far as what Lane Kiffin has done to get him. I saw that they were at the basketball game together. There's all that stuff about Williams possibly coming over. Yeah. Maybe he was texting him under the sheets while Leavitt was right next to him. But besides that, I don't know what's been going on.
Yeah, well, Lane Kiffin, he seems to be a little slimy with, as a coach, he seems to be a little slimy with his players. Like, it just kind of seems to be who he is. And there's something about Lane Kiffin that I really like. And, like, I want to be like, man, Lane Kiffin, I'm a Lane Kiffin. Like, I really like the way he handles his stuff. And then he just does stuff that really rubs me the wrong way. And this is a perfect example. So he's with Levitt, and apparently he gets Williams to hit the portal as Levitt is with him. Mm-hmm. So then Levitt's like, what the hell? He leaves, doesn't commit, goes on a visit to Tennessee. The next thing you know, Damon Williams gets all caught up, and now it looks like he's going back to Washington. Apparently, the story goes that Lane Kiffin hops on a plane to Knoxville, and Sam Levitt was getting ready to leave his visit from Tennessee and go on a visit to Miami. Intercepts Sam Levitt, getting ready to go to Miami. They talk, they have a conversation, and next thing you know, Sam Levitt is now committed to the University of LSU. It's a wild story.
I'm about to look this. I'm about to see maybe if he threw some money at him.
He had to sweeten the deal. I mean, how can you trust him? How can you trust that guy? And they got a quarterback out of Elon, which will, I assume, be a nice backup. But Sam Levitt's a baller. That's good. That's a good get for LSU. Lane Kiffin, I hope they're good next year. I hope they're good because it's fun when Lane Kiffin's doing good. He gets a lot of hate.
They're going to make, like, all the bullshit aside that he does off the field, he's a really good coach.
No, he is a good coach.
Like, that Ole Miss team, great players all around, had Chambliss really play lights out, but Kiffin was a big part of that, as much as we diss him.
He built it.
Yeah.
He built the program.
Yeah, big time.
All right, Steele, let's go on to Ohio State, man.
Yeah, so I don't even know what to think about them. I mean, a major exodus of young guys. Like, young guys that a lot of people are expecting to take big steps and play next year. Like, I mean, you got Aaron Scott, Mylan Graham, Bryce West, whatever his full name is, but I don't like it. I don't like the fact that almost an entire group of young freshmen are just kind of bouncing. That doesn't sit well with me because I know the type of environment and the culture that's over there. So that just tells me that all these guys are being persuaded away based basically off money. Because a lot of these guys, they have the opportunity to play and they're just not taking it. They're following money, or they're scared of maybe some guys coming in, like as far as the wide receiver groups. But I mean, they're picking up some guys. They got Terry Moore and Earl Little Jr., both safeties out of Florida State and Duke. Devin McEwen out of UTSA. Hope I said his name right. John Walker, UCF on D-line. Christian Allegro, actually, linebacker from Wisconsin.
That's what I'm fired up about.
Seems like a good get. But you're now seeing they're really going to have to, like, lean into this transfer portal era because they're losing a lot of guys.
I remember the days when people went to Ohio State because they knew they're going to have to compete for a spot. I know that's why you went there. I know that's why I went there. I know that's why all those wide receivers went there. You think, when Jackson Smith and Jigba came in there, you had Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jamison Williams. And, Jackson Smith beat out a couple of those guys. So, like, people go there to compete. And if you're a young guy, I will say this and you 100% agree. If I was a parent and had a kid in school, there is no other program I would want my 18-year-old, 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old freshman or sophomore being at than Ohio State because Mick Marotti. You're going to get the best off-season development. You're going to get, they really do develop you as a person and a player. It's a great school. It's a fun school. That is the place you need to be for at least 2 years and develop. And once again, we talked about this. I just don't get – if you're transferring for sole money purposes, it might work out for you, but I don't think – it's like Kirby Smart said. Those guys who are if I was Ohio State, I would try and schedule those guys. Remember when Kirby Smart said we try and schedule the ones who transfer? Because I think that shows some character that, I don't know, especially as a young person – No, I can't hate too much because I transferred, but I feel like I did my time and contributed enough to where
you did your time, and they're definitely like a perfect example. CJ Hicks, he was there for 3-4 years. He did everything he could try to get on the field. It didn't work out for him for a couple of reasons, so he left. Like, I respect that. Like, that dude put in the time, he put in the effort. He definitely developed. He developed as a player, just didn't get an opportunity, and then he definitely developed as a man. I saw him grow from the 2 years.
And guess what? He's still going to get that money's going to be waiting for him.
Exactly. He's still going to get money. And like, I can't just say like, don't do it, because if they're getting $2-3 million thrown in their face, it's hard to tell an 18, 19-year-old, like, don't take that.
Yeah.
So like, there's obviously going to be a little bit of bait like thrown in their face, but then it just kind of turns to what kind of guy you are.
Same thing with Mitchell Melton. Did his time there, didn't work out, bounced, got taken care of financially at Virginia, had a great season. There's no need. People are rushing their decisions. Don't rush your decisions. Do 2 or 3 years, and if you feel like you need to go, then you go, and that's understandable. Don't be there for 6 months. I mean, you're seeing kids transfer after one semester, and I think a lot of it is poor guidance. And you see it, Steele, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. The agents. To be an NFL agent, you got to go through like classes. You got to get certified. To be an NIL agent, Steele, freaking, you and I can go round up 10 kids and be like, we're going to be your agent. There's no education for you. Got freaking Jimmys and Joes from no disrespect, who didn't do nothing. Get out of high school, didn't do anything, and the next thing you know, there's like these agents. So the whole thing right now is just weird. I don't like the transfer portal, and it's I know it's weird for me to say that because I'm a portal product. But it just seems so different these days than when I had hit it, as we discussed in the last episode. I just don't like what's going on right now.
Yeah, and with what's happening now, where you're getting all of these freshmen leaving, it kind of puts things into perspective. Like, as a coach, are you going to focus more on like recruiting all these high school players that are going to inevitably just leave your program after 9 months? Are you going to focus more on the transfer portal? Because I don't know why I'm putting all this effort and money into a bunch of 17, 18-year-old guys who are just going to leave like after one season. Like, what's the point of that? So I think like if this happens to enough teams, you're going to see guys like maybe not pay as much attention to high schoolers, which sucks, because you're going to have guys miss out on opportunities to go to programs that they've grown up loving, because Ohio State, they love to go after Ohio-based guys. And you're just going to be kind of just going throughout the portal, just flipping through, seeing for the highest rated guy and someone who maybe you recruited a little bit, didn't pull the trigger on, and now they develop somewhere else. And then it's going to bring kind of a weird energy to the team where you're getting a bunch of guys who are just cycling in for 1 or 2 years, and you're not having a base core group like you saw in the national championship team, where all these guys, they've been here for 4 years. They understand what it's like to win, understand what it's like to be a Buckeye. And that's what we're seeing in Indiana. Even though they have a bunch of JMU guys, they got guys that have been there for 3 or 4 years.
In the same system, 100%. And that's what the biggest thing. You bring up a great point, Steele, because that is what's going to win national championships.
Yes,
it's going to be guys buying in, not dollar signs, but buying into brotherhood, buying into competing, buying into being a team. Teams win championships, Steele. Money doesn't win championships. Teams win championships. So you just nail on the head.
Yeah, that's what pisses me off about like last year, whenever everyone said Ohio State was just this high-paid team. Yes, they went out to the portal and they hit every single guy they got. Got Caleb Downs, they got Will Howard, they got Judkins, they got Seth McLaughlin at center.
Yeah.
And even though they had all those extra additions, they spent some money on guys that were already there, but they were already a part of the system. They knew it was like to go through an offseason with Mick. They knew it was like to go play for a Big Ten championship, even though I don't think they actually did, but just make a run at the national championship. And with all that experience and all that love they have for each other with 3 or 4 years under their belt, that's how they got it. And that's how I think Indiana's going to get it this year. You got guys that have been with each other.
Yeah, no, you're right. And still, if I was and then circling back to the recruiting thing, I think, let's take Ohio State as an example. If I was Ohio State, I would recruit moving forward. If it keeps going like it is, I would recruit the best out of Ohio. Absolutely. And then I would recruit like kids I know who are going to be surefire, elite talents from the high school level to college. I wouldn't go flying around all over the country. And like you said, that sucks. That sucks for, you like 3 stars, whatever, I think the stars are a bunch of BS anyway. But, some kids aren't the way it's going. Some kids are going to get shafted. But that's a product of the NCAA. That's a product of this NIL stuff. So we'll see what happens with it all. Still, you got anything else on all this stuff?
No, I guess I think of a guy like Lincoln. You don't really know him too well, but great quarterback out of North Dakota.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a lot less of that because why spend all the resources going out and finding players all over the face of the earth whenever you can just go in the portal and flip through a little catalog, find a guy.
No, 100%. It's portal and some in-state kids is how it's probably going to end up going.
Yeah, dude, it's a weird world we're in now. No, 100%. Honestly, I think there could be some change, but for that to happen, we need a guy like a Sam Levis or like a Swordsby over at Texas Tech. They need to flop.
Yeah.
We need a high paid guy to flop. Maybe the boosters like take a step back, realize that like it's not a guaranteed thing when we're throwing $6 million at a guy, and maybe that has some change to it.
Yeah. Did you see last portal? This happened a couple days ago. Did you see DJ Lagway's heading to Baylor?
I thought he committed then like uncommitted.
Oh, no. I don't know. I gotta look into it. As far as I know, he's going to Baylor, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think he's flirting with him. Maybe went on a date or something.
Okay, but he's not like in bed with him.
Might be in bed, just hasn't made it official. I have no idea.
Okay, all right, let's move on. You ready to get to some of these NFL games quickly?
Yeah, dude, what a wild! This reminded me of Barhouse 2021.
This first round of the NFL playoffs, man,
it was beautiful,
and still
beautiful.
I don't know if it's because this is like our first full year not playing or what, but it's been a good year of football. I've really enjoyed being a fan of the game this year.
The NFL, a lot of years, like it's of course fun to watch, but it's not as much drama and whatnot as college football, especially with NIL and everything. But something about this year, I think it kind of kicked off with the whole Micah Parsons situation, Jerry Jones just being a stingy bastard.
Yeah.
And then just kind of everything that followed. Like there was a little something extra in this NFL season.
No, and it showed up in that first round of wild cards. We got to start with a USC product. Mr. Caleb Williams, the Iceman, they're calling him.
They're calling him the Iceman. You see him grating the cheese?
With his tongue out and everything.
That's a zesty dude. And you know what? I'm leaning into it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you'd be his best friend. You're zesty ass.
No.
You and him would get along great.
I don't know about that. Based on the stories that you've told me, absolutely not.
No, you and him would get along good. Hey, I always respect him as a competitor. That's why I said after the game, I said you don't have to like him, but you got to respect him.
What was he down 21-6, fourth quarter?
21-3. 21-6 at halftime. And
I thought it was 21-3 at halftime. Then it was like 21-6 at fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're right. 21-3 at halftime with Green Bay getting the ball to start the second half. LaFleur, they're saying, and I hate doing this. I hate doing this, but I don't see how they can keep him around. They ended the year on a five game losing streak. He ain't won nothing since he's been there. And to lose that game like that was bad coaching. That was bad, that was bad all around. What did you think about that? Green Bay freaking choked, but Iceman did his part as well. That throw on fourth down was unbelievable.
Well, the Bears have shown the ability to do that all year. They've been coming back and winning those games the last 3 months of the season. So as crazy of a deficit they had to overcome, it wasn't completely out the picture because they're built to do that, which is crazy because it's Chicago.
Right.
But with LaFleur, I wouldn't say that. I mean, they lost their best player,
That
who's
is
like
true.
an absolute game wrecker. And if
And
he's on the field for that game, that
out.
changes.
That is. But I mean, Harbaugh, you can say the same thing for Harbaugh. It's like, how can you really blame him when the guy misses the field goal? The guy.
How long has LaFleur been with the Packers?
I think it's been a decent time now, but let's look.
I just feel with Harbaugh, dude, it's just been the same exact stuff for 2 decades. Like, it's kind of like
7
that.
years.
7?
2019.
No, I'd give him, because I mean, you're dealing with the very like end of Aaron Rodgers' career. You're trying to get Jordan Love kind of situated in Green Bay. You're seeing him make strides, even though he struggled that game. But I wouldn't count him out. I'm pretty sure they're signing LaFleur again. I mean, they've got a young team. I think they're going to figure it out down the line. So I wouldn't count him out just yet.
No, Steele, you bring up a good point, and I do like the players they have. I do like the players they have on that roster. I think they are going to be a good team next year and the years to come. I do like Jordan Love. So maybe you're right, and hopefully they can keep Jeff Hafley, which we know him. He was a DC while we were there at Ohio State. But
I think he's going to get another job. I
know he's had like 6 interviews. I think head coaching interviews.
He's going to get a head coaching job. I mean,
he's always a good coach.
That'd be a solid, like, defensive-minded head coach to have on your team.
No, I agree. Okay, so Packers choke. Iceman pulls it out. Ben Johnson. Did you see Ben Johnson, man? They're calling. Do you hear what they're calling Green Bay?
What?
He's referring to him as up north.
That's beautiful.
I know. When he said that, I was like, oh man.
I like the fact that, because I mean, like, you see it with let's say the Ravens and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like, huge division rivalry, but you see with Tomlin and Harbaugh, like, they have a little bit of respect for one another.
Yeah.
And then you see it in this one, like Williams and Love, there's not a lot of animosity, but between the coaches, that's awesome. I love seeing that as a fan.
I know. No, it is fun to watch. And Ben Johnson, man, that's an intense guy. I mean, him and Rabel are definitely, one of them is getting coach of the year. But Ben Johnson, he is something else.
At this point, it's kind of just I don't know who I'd bet on. I think it's just whoever goes farther.
Yeah. No, yeah, whoever goes farther is right. Okay, let's move on to
Carolina Rams. That was a really good one.
Yeah, Carolina pissed me off, bro. Giving up that last drive like that. They should have won that game. Bryce Young, future is bright for Mr. Young. He is a baller, man.
I love that for him, because what was it last year whenever he got benched?
And they benched him and everything. They were trying to move on from him, and then he just keeps
they benched him. Everyone was showing clips of him like walking out of practice just looking defeated, which I mean, it makes sense. He's supposed to be like the number 1 overall pick. You see guys behind you like CJ Stroud really performing. It's such a tough situation to be in, and to see him come out of that like a fucking phoenix, love it. And they lost, but that was the first playoff game for Carolina in a while, and that's due to him. So yeah, congrats.
He's going to be golden. And then on the flip side, Stafford or May, MVP?
Stafford. I don't know. I love, like, he's actually like a good dude. I've been tuned into Bakemas. Now they're going beyond Bakemas.
I saw that. Dave Portnoy's on there. She's got her own show sponsored by Dunkin'. I mean, maybe we should just start making cookies.
I mean, dude, like, she's got me like on the pot and like in bed salivating over her baked goods.
I haven't paid attention to it. Is it really legit?
It's awesome. And then you see the comments of like all the Patriots fans. Like, it's some of the funniest shit.
New England fans are so spoiled. They don't even understand how spoiled.
It's awesome. Like they'll text stuff like, make sure like he eats enough of that. Like, we need him like not nice and healthy tomorrow, or like tuck our glorious king in tonight. Give him a kiss for me.
Oh my God.
It's unreal.
Yeah, they are unreal. But I'm with you. I think Stafford, he hit his hand there like in the third quarter, maybe right before half. Got a little shaky there, but he started off on fire. Puka Nacua is a freak, and then the 2-minute drive was flawless for the game. So Stafford, I think, once again showed to me that he's MVP. And I knew that game was going to be tight, because going from the West Coast to the East Coast, that is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, but you want to talk about hand to hand? You see Josh Allen?
Yeah,
that dude was. he was getting beat up left and right, and he comes out and delivers an absolute show.
That was a masterclass. He single-handedly put that team on his back.
I mean, what I liked, because Josh Allen, he always does that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the defense finally stepped up, got that pick first play from Trevor Lawrence. Like seeing that, but overall, I hope he wins the Super Bowl. I mean, you've got a playoff without Lamar, Mahomes, Burrow. He's got to pull it off this year.
And it felt like, because the Jags were a solid team, bro.
I love their defense, dude. They are big, strong.
I know they are physical, and it felt like whoever can get out of there, because that was a physical ass game, as you already said. It did feel like whoever can get out of there with the win was going to be prone for a nice little Super Bowl push here. So I think he's got a real shot. But how about Devon Hamilton, a man of few words? Did you ever talk to him when he was at Ohio State with us?
No, I was only there for 1 year. He talked to me a little bit. I mean, he was just a good, like, fun D lineman type.
Yeah.
If you've played with one of them, you understand. He's just a big goofball who's fun to be around. But
I know.
I mean, he's been there for what, 5 or 6 years?
His whole career, yeah. He's been there.
He's just been holding it down in the middle.
He is. Those Hamilton bros are. Is Ty playing in the NFL?
Yeah, he's with the Rams.
Oh, he is with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Does he get some action or no?
Yeah, he gets some action, but it's Ty's stronger, but Devon's got him by, it looks like 50 or so pounds.
Devon is freakishly big, dude. It is something else. Okay, Bills, Josh Allen. We talked about Bears, Packers, and then we got to get on to San Fran and the Eagles.
You know what? You got to help me on this. I passed out at halftime. I set an alarm. I was going to wake up, start the third quarter. I wake up, and then it's the fucking it's the Patriots game on.
Oh my God! So you were out,
dude. I was all.
It was the typical super windy day in Philly, and then just the 49ers found like 4 explosives, and that was really the difference in the game. They cut Robinson loose to start the game. I think you said you saw that. Jawan Jennings, and then the trick play from Jennings to McCaffrey, and then it's been the same story with the Eagles
play calling.
Yeah, play calling, and then just not executing. AJ Brown has some big drops. Did you see him and Sirianni going at it?
I've never been a fan of Sirianni. I don't know what it is about him.
He's like a weirdo. He is a weird guy.
He gives me weird vibes. I mean, he's obviously been really successful as a head coach, but I'm glad that this happened to them because they needed a reality check. Like, they've been just kind of winning these games by the skin of their dick, but they have not been playing good football. Their defense is awesome.
Yeah.
But the offense, with all the talent they have, they just can't make it click. And that's play calling. And I think that's a little bit on Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's played very well as a quarterback.
No, he hasn't. Just when it seemed like he was really, last year, just when it seemed like he was really about to take off and take that next step, he just hasn't found it. But I do think it's a little bit of a play calling and execution. But also, when you got your DBs dating ex-WWE stars,
what does that have to do with anything? We're talking about QB play.
No.
We're not talking about that. No. Because
we are talking about that. We are talking about that.
No, you're bringing up nonsense. We're talking about Jalen Hurts and QB play, and you're bringing up the fact that he's dating Nikki Danger or whatever.
Who is he dating?
Nikki Danger? What's her name?
I don't even know what her name is. But I'm just saying, you win a Super Bowl, you come back, and the team was a little distracted this year.
Cooper DeJean played well. The defense is awesome. Your argument
it's the grand scheme of things, man. It's the grand scheme of things.
No, you're spewing nonsense.
That's a distracted football team, and you can't win a Super Bowl as a distracted football team. That's all I'm saying.
Unreal. They gave up the explosives. They needed some help from the offense. They've needed help from them all year. They didn't get it whenever they truly needed it. And they finally lost.
It's a distracted football team.
Okay, whatever, dude. You're trying to freaking rile up the dog right now, and it's working.
That's all there is to it. It's just San Francisco. They got a bunch of guys with their head on their shoulders, straight and narrow guys, a bunch of hard workers, And Philly, they just a bunch of distracted individuals.
Okay, whatever. Okay. Are you ready to act? Or do you want to talk actual foot? Are you just talking about dating freaking WWE people?
No, I'm just saying
talk ball. You're not talking ball right now.
Listen, ball is 95% of it, but there is off the field shenanigans that does.
Yes, I agree. And just dating someone isn't an off field shenanigan.
It's a distracted football team, man. They got a bunch of rat poison going on over there, and they fell victim to it.
All right, whatever, dude.
Still, why are you taking this so serious?
I'm getting pissed. You lucky I've got my little fucking stress duck here, or I'd be real pissed.
I know. When you answered the call today, all pissed off. Why are you so mad, man?
I'm not mad. You're just pissing me off.
You can't agree that they're a distracted football team?
No, I think there's plenty of other problems. It's not around distraction. It's just like play calling and overall gameplay. I don't think it was ever a distraction thing. I think it's probably it's all centered around the guy who's probably the least distracted of anyone, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
he's not performing the way he should.
No, he's not. He's not performing the way he should. I agree with that.
Meanwhile, somehow you're flipping it over to Cooper DeJean.
No, I'm not flipping it over.
You did because we're talking about quarterback play, and then you talk about dating WWE people, which is obviously Cooper DeJean.
Well, I'm just saying, on the grand scheme of things, we look at the Philadelphia Eagles. I think winning the Super Bowl got to their head. All right, let's move on. What game are we missing? There's one game we're missing. Or did we get all of them? Oh, no. The Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers is in the Pats. I mean, Herbert 0-3 in the playoffs, but he didn't get any help. He was another quarterback.
I'm not going to blame him.
I'm not blaming him at all. He was getting smashed. Drake May getting that field goal or whatever right before the half was big. That goal line stand they had after the turnover was big. The Patriots physical football team.
Yeah, dude. Their defense looked phenomenal. And
it's a shame Rabel wasn't there when you were there, dude. You were stuck with freaking Gerard.
He was a good dude. Easy on that.
Okay, my bad.
He was a good guy, but I hate it for the Chargers because their O-line was like a very focal point of that football team, and they just continuously got hurt. Joe Alt, one of the better young linemen in the entire league,
and Slater,
and like those are the linemen they had.
Those are all pro linemen.
Yeah, all pro linemen, and whenever it matters, like got hurt, and now you're having all these some third team guys that are having to step up, and like that was such a big ask for them because even though the Patriots guys aren't like Pro Bowlers or anything, they know how to play hard. They're coached by Vrabel. They're bringing all sorts of stunts and blitzes, and that's just a lot to deal with. I like the way this New England team plays football, and some of their fans are not happy. They thought they didn't perform well, but I think the wild card is very, 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 very tough to get through in any sports. You see it in baseball, the wild card. I think the first round of the playoffs is always the hardest to kind of crack until they open it up later in the game. I think every single wild card game was a one possession game up to that point.
I know, and there's like 8 lead changes or some crazy record amount of lead changes. So, yeah. Okay, so there's one wild card game left. It's our boy.
Yeah. What time is that? 8?
5.
8 o'clock. Okay, so it's 8
o'clock.
I want the Texans to win, obviously. But I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of that Aaron Rodgers hoodoo voodoo that he's casting on this game. I know he dabbles in the dark arts. So it could be interesting to see what he does with what could be his last hurrah.
Yeah. I'm with you, Steele. You said it last week. Texans defense is absolutely phenomenal. We got Farm Boy over there who we love very much. But I'm rolling with the Steelers. I'm rolling.
Yeah. Interesting matchup between Cade
and who? You cut out.
Cade and Sawyer.
Oh, that is an interesting matchup. But Sawyer don't play a whole lot, does he?
He's been getting in a lot more, dude. He's been playing well.
Oh, I know the Stover family is going to be out in numbers in that game.
Oh, dude, the Stovers are going to take over Pittsburgh. They're about to have 40 plus.
That's like a 4-hour drive max, probably from Ohio to.
Dude. I'm convinced every single Stover will be there.
Oh my God, dude! I totally forgot. All right, we got to go with the Texans, bro. We have no choice. We have to go with the Texans.
I was already going Texans.
I know, but I was like, AFC North. I love the Farm Boy, but I'm on the Texans now. I forgot about Sawyer. We like Jack Sawyer, but we got to roll with the Stovers on this one.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna be. But the thing is, like, who are they going to be cheering for?
You know who they're going to be cheering for.
Who's Gabby cheering for?
It don't matter who she's cheering for. We're cheering for Cade and the Stover family.
Naturally, I'm just saying, like, maybe that. No, like Miss Chelsea. I know how she is. She might wear like a double jersey, like half Steelers, half.
She would never do that.
No, she would never do that. Never mind. I take
that. The Stovers stakes. They're going to want this game more than anything. You know how they are. They're going to want this W more than anything.
Yeah. Damn.
Cade's going to be ready to run through a brick wall. Hey, was it Tommy's birthday yesterday?
Wow.
Did you wish him a happy birthday?
I was going to text you, but I assumed you already wished him happy birthday. Yeah. 12:05. I texted him, sent him a $20 on Venmo and a handshake. You didn't do anything, did you?
All right, I gotta go, man. I feel heartbroken.
Too late.
It's not too late. Let me call him. All right. Anything else, Steele?
It's nothing. No.
You wasted an hour of my time talking gibberish when I could have been wishing my good friend a happy birthday.
That's on you.
All right, you're right. Okay. All right, Steele. Goodbye.
Bye.